Hello and welcome. Today we are in the tier 10 Italian heavy cruiser, the Napoli. We're playing Convoy mode and I went with a secondary Napoli build because in mode shuffle I think the fighting ranges tend to be shorter and the matches tend to be a little more dynamic, so I figured that Napoli might be a very cool ship to try, because she has these SAP secondaries that are actually pretty effective, particularly for a cruiser. And Napoli herself is a very tanky cruiser on top of having a smokescreen. So I figured like this would be a very good combination of things that you would want in a game mode like this. So with Convoy mode, the enemy have to escort 6 Liberty ships to the destinations. And the Liberty ships spawn at positions number 1 and 2 on the map. And they have to take them along the red line path on the map to the anchor points. And honestly, I feel like in this game mode, the defending team has a pretty significant advantage. So the win conditions for our team is we either sink all 6 Liberty ships or we sink all of their surface ships. Either of them will win the game. If just one Liberty ship reaches an endpoint, we lose. But I feel like this match has a pretty big defender's advantage, because it's very difficult to push these pretty squishy Liberty ships onto the endpoints. Something kinda crazy has to happen. I played one other match previously to this, and it was on 2 brothers. And the ship spawns were also pretty normal, but the Liberty ships spawned in such positions that I felt like we were just playing standard battle. Here though, I think the Liberty ships can actually play a role, because it's only 2 lanes and I think it is possible to defend, but also possible to kind of push. Effectively though, all we have to do is just hold on the red lines, and once the Liberty ships come, we just sink them. We just gotta make sure we don't lose too many surface ships before that happens, and to just let the enemy attack into us. I think there's a pretty significant defender's advantage. I think if this game mode were playable for a long time, something would have to change, like the defenders need some kind of a disadvantage, maybe fewer ships or something. But I think right now, with how few matches people are playing this game mode, I think the strategies haven't quite developed well enough that it doesn't really matter. It really is more like a standard battle with the Liberty ships being kind of optional. But I do like the fact that it encourages one team to attack and the other team to defend. I think this is something that's been kind of missing in World of Warships, because it really does encourage closer range combat. And I just really hate in standard battles, or regular random battles, how all the battleships seem to just spam at long range, half the cruisers spam at long range, and it just doesn't feel as fun. Whereas if you like go close and fight, like look at this, right? How often early on in a match, like we're like 4 minutes into the battle right now, how often do you get battleships fighting cruisers at like 11 kilometers with like battleships pushing as well and all of that? Not that often, right? And I think this is pretty cool. So my plan here is that maybe we can just delete these 3 Liberty ships, and then we can take all of our ships on this side and move them to the southern endpoint. Because I think right now it's entirely possible for us to get rid of the Liberty ships. Although it would really help if we could take the Jean Barre out as well. And Napoli I think is excellent for this, because she is one of the tankiest, if not the tankiest cruiser in the game. So these SAP secondaries are pretty scary to Liberty ships, and oh wow! Wow, that gearing just... was that a double strike? Well, even if it wasn't, she just sank the Liberty ship and the JB. Very nice. Now we only have one of the enemy Liberty ships left here. We take that out, and we can focus on the other lane of ships. Goodbye! Oh, we got the Raider medal. Oh, I'm being shot at by an Austin. Hello, Austin. Please stop. I really would really appreciate if you just shot someone else, okay? Look, I'm a Napoli. You're not gonna sink me, right? So just spend your time on someone else. Thank you very much. So I could just use smokescreen to try to disengage. And just hope that the Kronstadt wouldn't spot me, which is exactly what I'm gonna do. But I mean, it is still a Kronstadt next to me, so I am gonna get radared at some point. The question is just when. Maybe it'll happen at a time that I'm already behind the island, because there's an island in front of me that I can use to turn around with. Yep, see? And Kronstadt radared me exactly at the wrong time. He was hoping he would get my broadside, but nope. Sorry, buddy, but we got away. Sure, she can obviously shoot me again, but it won't really matter at that point, because now I'm already angled. Oh, Cyclone is right. There's a Cyclone here as well, and the Cyclone kicks in earlier than what you're used to in random battles, I believe. And I think it lasts for less time as well. But this is very interesting. Cyclone could be very, very useful if you're on the attacking team, because it stops the enemies from being able to just delete the Liberty ships from really long range. But anyway, we've taken out the #1 lane for them, so all we have to do is defend the second push of the Liberty ships. And once we can do that, we can, at least we should try to position in a way to be able to defend that. Basically, we want to go roughly where the friendly Des Moines is, and the Nevsky, and try to entrench ourselves there. Of course, with pushes and defenses, the lines are going to move a little bit, and the enemy team's plan is probably to try to push us away from that enough that they can sneak in a single Liberty ship. Maybe with a smokescreen or something, maybe with overwhelming torpedo firepower. It's kind of unknown, but we'll see how it will go. I'm just gonna sail more towards the center because I kind of want to fight something. Right now, my ship really isn't doing much. And man, you know what I was just thinking about convoy mode? If you were playing like a torpedo destroyer, you could have snuck around the edges of the map because nobody's really going to the edges, right? And then you could go and torp from behind. Also, there's a Louisiana right there. I should probably start firing on him. I wonder how much HP he has, because I think the UI for me wouldn't update, right? Even though it shows the HP, but it shouldn't update if I don't actually see the ship. I mean, we hit her though, so we do a few more. Okay, she's exactly there. So we do a few more salvos on the Louisiana. I think she's being a bit too aggressive. A ship like Louisiana with the planes really should stand back a little bit more in Cyclones, because she can just use her planes to engage. If you're gonna engage at close range, what you really want to do is engage with multiple ships, kind of like we did here, right? It wasn't just Mecklenburg engaging the Louisiana. I helped, the Baltimore helped, and maybe there were some other ships that engaged as well that I just couldn't see. That is something that you really need to take advantage of in World of Warships. You should only engage enemies if you outnumber them. Don't engage enemies if they outnumber you, unless you're very, very confident. And obviously that Louisiana should not have been confident. Oh, Cyclone's over. Nice. Cool. I guess we get to fight the Grossekopfes now. Nice. Finally! Battle. We'll see if... so right now, I'm paying attention to where the GK's guns are pointed. As long as she doesn't point them towards me, I should be fine. I could just sit here for a long time, I think. What I mean by this is that as long as she doesn't point her guns at me, this should be a pretty safe place to be. Sure, technically the Kronstadt could fire on me from far away, but she seems to want to fight some other ships anyway. And I would really like to help my Mecklenburg deal with this GK. I mean, just the fact that if the GK starts pointing her guns at me rather than the Mecklenburg would already be an advantage, because... okay, never mind, we actually sank the GK. But anyway, what I meant is, just her pointing the guns at me is an advantage to my Mecklenburg. Because then, once I get behind the island, the GK would have to turn all of her guns back again towards the Mecklenburg. You know, it wastes time and buys time for us to deal damage, but I suppose it wasn't even necessary because she got sunk anyway. So, at this point, all we have to do is defend this cap point. But this is actually a lot closer than you think. Look, we only have one battleship left. Well, okay, we technically have the Mecklenburg and the GK. But this point here is really defended only by this one ship here. And the gearing and me, right? There's really nobody else here. So if they can somehow sneak in a Liberty ship with smoke screens, I don't have a Hydro. So they could potentially get really close. I have to basically sail at them at this point. Otherwise, this is gonna be very... Otherwise we just lose the game. Sure, we sank the first Liberty ship, but I think my friendly Grossokoffist is gonna die. And at that point, we'd only have 3 ships left. In fact, it's a 3 versus 3 right now. They even have a little bit more HP, I think. Possibly. No, never mind. We have more. Because I have a lot. My team has 79,000 HP total. 51,000 of which is mine. Okay, number 2 Liberty ship is gone, so they only have 1 left, but it is smoked. Really, my only worry at this point is the Kitakami having some incredible set of torpedoes. I'm not really worried about the Kronstadt. I'm angled against her. Atago can't really kill me in time. And yeah, that's it. Kitakami's torpedoes, we avoided 1 set. I don't think it's gonna work out for them. But man, this is really close. Consider the fact that we pushed in, sank the other lane of ships. But this one, it's coming down to the wire. Yeah, considering how Kitakami is positioned, I'm not worried about her torpedoes anymore. All I have to do is just sink her and deal with the Liberty ship, and then the game's over. Whew. And all I have to do to sink the Liberty ship is give her a kiss. Smooch. And that ends the game. Oh, and Atago actually won against the Mecklenburg. So really, we only had 2 ships left, mine and the gearing.
Excellent job.
But that didn't stop us from winning the game. 142,000 damage, we sank 7 ships, 114 secondary hits. The 7 ships did include, I think, 3 or 4 transport ships, so we didn't actually sink a kraken worth of enemies. But 2,651 base XP. And that Mecklenburg also got over 2,500. Well done, buddy. Without you, we wouldn't have won. Wow, our secondaries were really effective. I am really surprised by this. 50,000 damage? Damn. I think a lot of it has to be on the Liberty ships, because they are pretty squishy, and I did get really close to them. Yeah, the secondaries are doing a pretty significant amount of damage to them. So, yeah, Napoli in Convoy mode, pretty damn good. Would recommend. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would like to thank the patrons on Patreon. Thank you very much for your continued support, and I hope I'll see you guys next time.